We are live. What is up, fam? How's everyone doing? It's good to be back. And today's unique. It's Friday. I got the fresh cut, got some stuff done today, and it's the weekend. And even better than that, I'm getting my bed this weekend and a dresser. So, if I were to show you my room right now, it's actually not too bad, but here, let me switch to this other camera. But I've been living. You can see this right here. And eventually, I think I might add some, I don't know, maybe a little bit of lighting over there. That way, normally I have my fan light on, but it doesn't have like the best light quality, especially when I switch to this camera. So when I switch to this camera, let me actually do that right now. It's just like not as good. You got weird kind of yellow light in the background, and let's see. And if you go back to the main camera, you have this like annoying light right there, and it doesn't look too nice. So what I think I'll eventually do is put like a some sort of light, possibly over there, maybe a fluorescent light. I've actually been thinking about that. Granted, so the light you're seeing right now is from my screens, so maybe some way. Maybe I should do this. I'll put my screen, normal stuff right here, and I'll put my YouTube stuff because it's like a little bit darker. I'll do this, but it's still kind of bright. Oh, let me actually try this. So I found this new thing. It was actually on my work laptop, but you can change the theme of your Google Chrome. So let me see if I can do that. Let's go dark theme. There we go. So maybe that's not as bad. And then I have my little lights up here. But now that's like super dark. Because if I go back to my main cam, it's like super dark. So I need that light. I don't know. Everything's a work in progress. Especially since just move here and whatnot. But it is what it is. Oh, did my stream freeze? Yeah, my CPU is kind of going crazy right now. Let me do this. I'm gonna put my stuff back over there. Hopefully it's not as bright. My CPU is running at like 40% right now. I'm convinced it's the extra monitor that it's attached to that's making it use so much power. Because if I were to disconnect that, it'd probably be somewhat fine. But it's really nice having another camera angle. See, it's still kind of bright from the camera. This light. Maybe if I lower the bright. Oh no, that's changing the color. Lower the brightness a little bit. Yeah, this is actually not too bad. And then if I go to the back to the main cam, it's a little dark. Not gonna lie, it's a little dark right here. So maybe I'll just have to have. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll figure it out eventually. So let's. No, want to there because that's good lighting for this camera angle, and then this camera angle it's still a little bright, so we'll see what we do, what we can do. Anyway, sorry that literally was like 5 minutes of me just messing around with the lighting and stuff, but yeah, I got my fresh cut and stuff. I went to so down here in Austin. I love Beard Brand in general, so you've probably seen I post their stuff, and basically they have a company surrounded by beard care products and stuff like that. So they actually have a barber shop down here in Austin, not too far away from me. I'm 20 minutes away, and move here. Obviously, I get my hair cut a lot every 2 weeks to be exact, and I needed a barber. So I looked around some places. Most of the barbers, they're like 10 minutes away. There was like this one, highly rated, but they said they only accept cash. I'm like, oh, it's kind of lame. I get it, but I use my credit card for everything. Gotta earn that cash back and those points. I'll probably do a live in the future about specific. Yeah, I talked about why you should use a credit card in my, I believe, men's live 26. But you should, and if you, let me actually try this. So in my men's live 26, I talked about why you should use a credit card, never use a debit card to earn points, cash back, travel benefits, you name it. A bunch of different stuff you can get from that. So click the link right here. I'll attach it to that live if you want to check it out. Highly recommend it if you don't know anything about credit cards, and that's a good intro. But in the future, I will go into more depth about maybe some different credit cards because I'm actually looking at in the market to get another credit card or so. You got to be smart with your money. But anyway, so Beard Brand, they have a barbershop out here. They're based out of Austin, Texas. So yeah, I went over. My guy Jesse did me nice, and I'm planning on going back. And it's reasonable prices. Like I was paying my barber like $50, and that's including a tip. And this guy charges base 45, so it's a little bit higher here from a base perspective, but I tip him, and it's somewhat the same. What can you do? That's one thing I will spend my money on is making sure I have a good appearance. You know, I look good, feel good, but not the clothes. You can lay off a little bit. You don't have to get the super expensive clothes. And to be honest, that haircut's a decent haircut or decent price for a really pretty nice haircut. I know guys that are spending over $100. There's very few barbers nowadays that will charge less than I'd say like 35, 40. That's a good quality haircut, and you're not just getting a random person. You can go to everyone can go to Sports Clips or whatever for $20, $25, but you're probably gonna get kind of a crappy haircut. So that's that. So I did that, and like I said, my bed's coming. I was talking about it earlier, but then I got sidetracked. You can see, let me switch to this other camera. In the background, you can probably see a little bit. That's my bed. That's what I've been sleeping on for the last 2 weeks. A little futon. It's a Japanese bedding. It's literally like a pad on the ground. Not, I haven't been getting the best quality of sleep. I'll tell you that. I've been sleeping still, but my queen size bed is gonna come tomorrow, and I will have a dresser because right now you can't see it, but I have all my most of my shirts hanging up and stuff. My suits. I actually got a shoe rack, so that's nice. Bought a shoe rack from Facebook Marketplace. The lady, she didn't have the right amount of screws, so I had to go out and buy some screws today, but finally got that set up. Have all my shoes that aren't in boxes on that shoe rack. I can probably fit another 12 pairs or so. I counted. I have 35 pairs of shoes, 34. So close to 50. I'm sure we'll get to 50 soon. But I'll get a dresser because right now I have my suitcase with all like my pants and shorts and stuff and gym clothes. That's all on the ground. So I'll finally have a dresser. Key is hopefully it fits. So exciting news in when it comes to that kind of furnishing this place a little bit. There's a little loft area outside my room. We're upstairs, and I kind of want to make that into like a little lounge area. Put a TV. There's already kind of a media center there left from someone else. Eventually, put a couch. Maybe throw another like computer out there or something. I think eventually I might even update to a tower or instead of just a laptop because obviously right now the CPU is not too bad. I jumped up to, as I said that, jumped up to like 20%. Or CPU, sorry. So typically when I'm streaming CPU, which is like the amount of energy or power the central processing unit is using, it tracks it down on my OBS software. It's been going kind of crazy just because I've added more cameras and stuff and I'm adding stuff. So normally My past streams, it's been around like 1%, 2%, and sometimes it jumps up to like 50 or 60%, which is not good. Depends how much I'm moving around and stuff. Oh, that just kind of made it spike a little bit. But might eventually get a tower. Who knows? I get a discount for my work and stuff. But that's probably 6 months, a year in the future. Who knows? Not looking to spend a ton of money right now. But so let's hop into the topic at hand. Been pretty busy, lots of stuff going on, but lots of exciting stuff. So tonight's topic is three types of cars every guy should own. Now, from my thumbnail, actually recently, I've actually kind of gotten a lot more into cars. Obviously, I have a couple friends that are really into cars, and they've told me about them and stuff, and I thought they were cool and stuff. And I've been to Vegas, done the whole supercar racing thing. That was awesome. I rode around my boss's Tesla Model S, and then a couple months ago in Utah, we were at a crypto conference and we drove around some EVs. Me and my friend, we drove around Ford Lightning, um, a Lucid. Wait, no, not a Lucid, a Rivian, and also I got to drive the newer Model S. So I actually had the yoke instead of a steering wheel, which is pretty pretty cool. So I've been recently getting a lot into cars, especially as I'm about to retire my high school car. It's been it's been good memories, but it's time for it to. I need an upgrade. So I've been looking at cars. I've eventually ordered a car. I'm gonna get a Subaru Legacy. I've upgraded a little bit, and it's gonna be nice. I'll do maybe a little video on that whenever it gets here in October. But ever since that, then I've just kind of been looking at cars, and I've actually watched the Fast and the Furious. I've started watching that series for the first time ever. I've never seen a single Fast and Furious in my entire life. I've seen all the memes and stuff, and I get the whole gist of it, but I've never actually seen it. So I just started. Saw t- Actually, I lied. I saw Tokyo Drift like several years ago, obviously, because it's named Tokyo Drift, so I had to see it. And but I've never saw like the first one and doing it in order and stuff like that. So I think I'm on fast. I finished the fourth one, and I'm on the fifth one. So I'm on to the Fast Five. And car culture I think is pretty cool. And then now I'm on Instagram and social media and stuff since I've been liking those posts and sending them to my other car friends that are interested in cars. I've been seeing all these different models and stuff, and my stepdad, he's pretty into cars himself. They're moving down to Texas, and he brought down a '69 Mustang, so hopefully I can work on it some with him. But growing up, I never was really around that. I knew a little bit about cars, but never was really taught that, and you know, I never really got into it. Well, I drove like the same car literally since I was 16, since high school. So there's other stuff that were occupying my mind. But now, start to make money, see cool stuff, make a little upgrades in my life. Granted, don't spend all your money on a brand new car or upgrading your car. But there's things you can enjoy in life, have fun. And I think it definitely, to an extent, it can boost a little bit of your status, boost a little bit of your dating game. Obviously, don't go overboard like, oh, I'm gonna buy a Lamborghini or stuff like that when you just have enough to make the payment. It's not. You shouldn't do that. Not good advice. You should get a new car and upgrade when you can afford it, when you can basically pay it all cash and not deplete yourself of all of your money, all of your savings. Either that, or if you have a favorable rate, finance it a little bit. Still put a hefty down payment on it, but don't treat it as an investment. It's not an investment. It's a depreciating asset. So you can buy a good car. I spent. I'm gonna spend pretty good money, not crazy money, on my new car, my Subaru, but I know it's gonna last me 10 to 15 years. That's the cool thing. So it'll be it's somewhat of an investment, but not an appreciating asset investment. It's more of a reliability thing. So my old car, I'm not always constantly fixing it and it's breaking down and stuff. And then I'm strapped. I don't have a ride. I can't drive anywhere. But the three types of cars every dude should own. Now, I've actually been creating this philosophy for the past probably the past year or so, and I've been telling people about it. But people are like, "Oh, you probably got to get this kind of car, like two supercars, and then maybe like a bigger size car, or you got to get a G wagon and these types of things." All right, listen. I'm not gonna go into model specific. I will list some models that I specifically like. It's not necessarily a recommendation. You can buy whatever you want. I'm no car expert per se. Hopefully in the future, 20, 30 years down the road, I'll kind of get to be more knowledgeable about cars. But I think generally speaking, and obviously things could change, but from the data I've gathered talking to people and that have different cars, I know tons of people have trucks, obviously I'm from Texas. I know tons of people that have good commuter cars, solid cars. I know tons of people that have cooler muscle cars and stuff like that. And I know people that have JDMs, Japan domestic market, like the, the Asian cars. And then I also know people that have European cars, BMWs, Audis. And then I also know a few people that have supercars. You got the NSX, GT500. Some people, if they classify that as a supercar or not, maybe GT3, more of a race car, not necessarily supercar. McLaren, new 750, 720 is out, but the new 750 is sick. I was looking at their website the other day, and that's actually I believe that's the 750 on my thumbnail. But the three types of cars, I'll start off with well, let me just lay out the full premise of it. Three types of cars, okay? First type, you need a solid commuter. One that is reliable, you don't have to worry about it breaking down all the time, and do semi longer drives, but mainly just to and from places here and there. Obviously, if you live in a big city, then you're not gonna really have a commuter car. You're gonna use public transportation more. But talking to that, I mean, living down in Austin, pretty built out city. It's no Houston, it's no New York, but you're gonna have to. I drive a ton here, and I'm not in the city. And even if you're in the city, I mean, public transportation isn't that great. But you drive a lot. Like I drive way more here than in Utah, just because things a little bit further away. And there's other stuff. There's things worthwhile seeing and doing that are going to be 20, 30 minutes away. And that's just kind of the norm. You go anywhere, you're probably going to spend 20-ish minutes driving on average, at least for me. So you use a lot more gas. So you want something a little bit more fuel efficient. You want something that'll look nice, obviously. And you want something that's going to be reliable too. Just because you don't want it to be constantly be in the shop. Because what's the point of having a commuter car if it's constantly in the shop and then you have to loan out a car? They give you a loan car for when it's in the shop, or you have to use your wife's car, or your girlfriend's car, or get an Uber when you don't have to. Like, purpose of it is to be reliable. Still, I'd say, all right, first reliable, second fuel efficient to an extent, and then third, still look nice, still a nice feel, still if you're like sportier look, still looks nice. You're not just driving a Prius, even though the new Priuses, brand new ones, actually look kind of cool. Well, I'm still debating that or not, just because I know it's a Prius. So, commuter car. Oh gosh, why is this on the? All right, here we go. Dark mode. Let's go ahead and share my screen. A few of the commuter cars that are really good, and I'm talking to the average person. So if you're like top 1%, you're making like 300, 400 grand plus. Like, I actually do have a few options for y'all as well. But best commuter cars, you just literally, I literally looked up best commuter cars. Actually, I mean, I was looking. This is the type of car. This is the type of car I got, and this was what I was looking for. So I'm very familiar with this as of recently. But Honda Civic's are really nice. So, I mean, top of the list, Camry, Toyota Camry. It's like known for being the one of the best, if not the best, commuter car. It's very modest. It's reasonably priced, and yeah, it's literally the. I don't know if it's the world's best selling car. It's definitely the United States best selling car, most sold car. So Toyota Camry. Sorry, I have a Toyota Corolla. I'm actually surprised Camry's not on here. But Honda Civics are solid. I mean, Nissan Sentras. My roommate just bought a Nissan Sentra. Corolla is really nice. Now, there's a couple different types. So there's like flagship cars, like a little bit the four door sedan that's like kind of normal size. So I'm talking about your Camrys, like Subaru Legacy. I believe the Sentra. I can't remember if the Sentra or the other one, the Altima. I think the Altima might be a little bit bigger. I think the Sentra is kind of more of the compact car. Don't quote me on that. If you do know, just let me know in the comments. Let's see. I mean, Chevy Malibu. I know more of the Japanese cars than any of the other ones, just because I usually look at those. Uh, Honda. What's the other Honda one? I can't remember. This looks bad on me, but this is what I'm talking about. So now for your those are for, like average people. I like the Super Legacy. What I put on there. First of all, especially here in Texas, not very many people drive it. I actually didn't take that into consideration before, but I think it's cool. I was actually looking at a Camry, but Camry is surprisingly a little bit pricier for what I wanted. And everyone here has a Camry. Literally every other car here is a Camry. It's ridiculous. Legacy so far, I've literally only seen three in the past 2 weeks. So I'll have somewhat of a unique car. So that'll be nice. And it's all wheel drive. Granted, here in Texas, it's not really necessary. Occasionally it snows, occasionally it freezes. But if I ever take road trips or ever move back, I don't know if I'll move back to Utah, plug to my, I have to learn my directions. Plug to my, why I'll probably never move back to Utah live. I did a couple live streams ago. But if I ever like move to Colorado, move to somewhere a little bit more mountainous, I'll be fine. Like I said, I plan to have that car 10, 15 years. So wherever I go, it'll all be solid. But so for my little bit classier friends, I really like Lexus. I know Acura has some really nice cars, but Lexus their IS models are really nice. Granted, they are a little bit pricier. They go up from like 80, 90K to 100K. IS 500, it's probably their nicest. You can get a hybrid or like a normal form. But this is the car that was on my thumbnail. So super nice, four door sedan, luxurious, has all the toys and the cool stuff and the look that you want. But it's also super reliable. It gets good gas mileage. And it does the job. It gets you to and from places. So you need a commuter car just because you got stuff to do, you're busy, you're doing stuff. You got to have a reliable car, one that's not going to be in the shop every single day. So that's car type number one. All right. Car type number two is the big car, the big guy, if I could phrase it like that. It's literally the car, truck, SUV that you're going to use, maybe doing a little bit longer, maybe road trip if you're doing a road trip, or you're going camping, or you need to haul something, or helping someone move. It's you need to maybe go a little bit off road. It's for those purposes. Obviously, you're not gonna take your commuter car to do that. If you have to go up a mountain, your car's not all wheel drive or whatever, or you have to move furniture, you have to move a dresser, a bed, like what's coming tomorrow for me. you're not gonna be able to do that with just like a normal size car. You're gonna have to have something that has a big trunk, has a truck bed or something like that, and and also the tow stuff. So you got a friend's buddy's car, it's not working or whatever. You need to tow a trailer. You pull in a boat for my guys that have boats, want to buy boats. Pull your side by sides, your 4x4s, your jet skis, whatever said toy that you want. You're going to need something that has good torque and good hauling capabilities. So, obviously, gas mileage, not as much of a factor. A little bit higher would be nicer, but at the end of the day, just need something bigger to get a certain job done. So, that's why I'm talking about trucks. I'm talking about big SUVs that have good amount of torque, good amount of power, towing power behind them. Just because you very often, more than you think, you're gonna find yourself in situations where you're like, dang, I wish I had a truck, or dang, I wish I had something that I could tow something with or haul something with, type of a thing. So that's when I get into some of the trucks, and I gravitate towards trucks because that's exactly what they're made for. Let's go to the window, share screen. So best trucks. I mean, I put traveling just because you might be doing road trips with these things. You're not these. You wouldn't necessarily do this for like speed performance and stuff. I know people like their Ford Raptors and your TRXs or whatever. Like you have a truck, not to just go crazy off roading necessarily for, but you have something to haul stuff and to throw stuff in. You don't mind it getting a little dirty, you know. You maybe not trying to keep it super clean, and you don't mind a little scratches and dings along the way, just because it's what a truck's for. But some of your the one I have is the one my brother-in-law has, and I actually really love that truck just because it's a classic American truck. Like you can't get well, classic American truck. Most like F-150. You can't beat an F-150. People say Silverado, but not quite. F-150. There's a reason why it's the best-selling truck in America. But you kind of want to upgrade it a little bit. You can you can get a GMC Sierra. Those things are beasts. Specifically the Denali. Those things are really nice. Big cabin space, pretty good torque, good hauling, towing capabilities, and they're a good looking truck. I'll tell you that. I think they're one of the best looking trucks. I think if not the best looking truck. But a couple of the other trucks out here, obviously F-150, I think would be really interesting to look at the Lightning because test drove and stuff. The only thing is charging. I think that kind of sucks, especially if you're hauling stuff like cross country or something. Uh, F-150 Silverado, solid choice. Surprisingly, Toyota Tundras, they're super nice trucks as well. Can't go wrong with a Ram 1500. Tacomas, they're on the smaller side. They're compact for this kind of the stuff you're doing. It's more of like a hybrid between like a commuter where it gets like a little bit better gas mileage, but you're sacrificing the main capabilities of truck. It's not going to have probably as much torque. It's not going to have as much towing capability and off-roading abilities as some of these other trucks. So keep that in mind. Not gonna lie, the Jeep Gladiator has been growing on me. I don't know if I'll ever get one. I don't think I'll ever get a Jeep in general, just because I don't think I'm much of a Jeep guy. But they have been growing on me, just because they're they look pretty cool. Not gonna lie, they're huge, and their truck bed's actually pretty nice too, and pretty good size. I don't know if I trust Honda trucks to be honest, and like I said, Sierra. That would probably be my go-to car. If I were to get a truck right now, it would be a Sierra. But there's a ton of different trucks, but and then I'll also throw in on top of there like Toyota's coming with the Land Cruiser pretty soon, and then also like Forerunner is really nice and kind of like your bigger SUVs that are more towards like off-road. I guess you could throw somewhat of a Jeep, a bigger size Jeep. I forget what models are the bigger ones, but yeah, just for those exact reasons. Plus, they're cool. They're fun to drive. Not gonna lie, you just get this big giant machine, and they're just super manly. You know what's better than driving a big old truck? Except your wife or your girlfriend's them being tiny, and they're probably gonna want to drive the huge truck or the huge SUV. But that's the number two. So you need something, off roading a little bit of towing, a little bit of hauling, something a little bit bigger, all wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. It's gonna get most any job done. All right, now third car we're gonna talk about is the fun car, is the sports car, or if you're into muscle cars or you're into JDMs, or you're just classic. I'm just gonna ball out. I'm gonna buy a supercar. Those are your fun cars. So these are your weekend cars. And honestly, if you want to, you can probably drive these to the office. Are they the most reliable? No. So they're probably gonna have to get serviced a lot. You're gonna have to keep up with it. And honestly, you probably don't want to put a ton of miles on it just because of how expensive they are and the performance they and the fuel especially that they use. And you're probably not going to be using you're not going to be using normal fuel. You're going to have to buy the premium stuff. But you go on car rallies, you go out with your friends, you go out on the highway, Sunday drives and stuff like that. But it's your fun car. I think every guy wants, if you can, I think you should get one. A fun car when you're in the chillin' phase of your life, when you got enough money and you can use your assets to pay it off or something like that, or you even make money off of it. So I'm talking fun cars. Like I said, doesn't necessarily have to be a supercar, but these are the cars I'm talking about, where you can go out, or you're going on a nice date with your lady. You roll up to the restaurant, give your keys to the valet, type of a thing. A little bit flashy, to be honest. Um, so there's tons of Corvettes around here. Not gonna lie, Corvettes are pretty sick, but I'd say like the kind of older school Corvettes with the pop up lights. I think those are I forget what year those models are. I want to say like the early 2000s. I want to say. And Porsches are really nice. I mean, Rich Cooper, Unplugged Alpha, he recently got a Porsche. I forget which Porsche he got. I want to say a 911, but maybe not. But he balled out, got a Porsche, and he's actually loving it. The handling on those things are crazy. I drove a GT3 or GTR3. I think that's the model. What's it? GT3 RS, I believe. Yeah, I drove one of these bad boys, GT3 RS, 911 GT3 RS. That thing was bad. That thing was not only fast. Obviously, it's not going to hit top speeds like a Huracan or a Ferrari or like a 750 McLaren, but those things handle like no other. You can whip around turns going like 80, 90 miles an hour. It's crazy. And of course, you got to give love to the JDMs, the Japanese cars. Man, they do it the best. Not gonna lie, the Nissan Z's I think look kind of feminine in a way, but GTR, or no, that's not the GTR. This is GR86 Toyota. GT the Supras, those are classic. I don't know how I feel about looking, the new design of the Supras. You got to go with the classic, like Fast and Furious Supras. Those things are sick. Um, they have other. They have a GTR. I mean, GTR 35. It's the big flagship supercar that Nissan has right now, and then got the classic, the old school GTR 34 Skyline. Paul Walker's car, R.I.P. But there's a lot of other cars. You got your Euros too, Audi R8. Never been in one, but I've heard they're nice. I know someone that has one. Miatas. One of my friends was gonna get a Miata. It's crazy. MSRP on 30 grand. Those things kind of look, yeah, not super manly. So it's like those tiny BMWs too. I don't know if I would ever get one of those just because they don't look very cool. Jaguar F Type. I did a motorcycle class with a guy who had an F Type. He loved that car, but he also said he's like, yeah, he dropped like 100K because he got a couple upgrades. Here we go, GTR. That's the GTR 35. Um, yeah, I could talk about these all. Not gonna lie, I would probably. I don't know if it would be my first choice, but the Lexuses are super nice. The RCs are really nice, but the LCs are kind of like the next level when it comes to like luxury, like sports cars. Not a supercar, but super nice sports cars because it's like classy. You drive literally drive that to work and stuff, and not. It's like it'll turn heads, but not too many heads. It's not super flashy, but it's a super sleek, nice car. Unfortunately, they're discontinuing the Challengers um, and the Chargers, but get a Hellcat. They're not gonna make those anymore. And the brand new Mustang they came out, the GT3. I think that's crazy. It has like 800 horsepower, insane, but it's like 300K, which is ridiculous. It's like not even a supercar. By that point, it's like it's street legal too. It's a street legal race car, street legal GT3. But I don't know if it's worth that much. So you get a 750S for the same price. Like I said, Lexus R3 or RC are nice cars. You got your classics, Camaro, Mustang, um, your Aston Martins. I don't know too much about Aston Martins. Why do they have a Corolla on here? Get that out of here. Not gonna lie, I would love to get. Actually, originally when I was doing the supercar thing, I was originally trying to race a GT 500 Shelby, but it was getting serviced. It was in the shop, so I had to settle for the GT3 RS, the Porsche. But every guy needs a fun car, just for weekend rides, go out with the boys, go on car rallies. I think that'd be the coolest thing. Just be a part of a car community. Not gonna lie, that's going to my next thing. I was gonna be like a motorcycle, like I'll probably eventually get one, my license and everything. But that will be we'll see in probably in the next couple years or so. But definitely a car community because I can drive cars forever. I'm not gonna drive bikes and motorcycles forever. So that is the three types of cars that every guy should own. So to recap, first type of car, you need a nice commuter car, one that's going to get the job done. It's going to start every day. It's going to be reliable day in, day out, very minimal service maintenance requirements. And it's fuel efficient. It's going to get pretty good gas mileage, so you're not breaking the bank, getting 10, 15 miles a gallon. And still looks sleek, still looks nice, but it's reliable and it can get you far without filling up the tank every couple hundred miles. So first, number one, the commuter car. Second, the big truck or the big SUV. Get down on the dirt, can haul stuff, travel long distances, big tank, can tow stuff, good torque, good horsepower, and it's just gonna get the dirty jobs, the hauling jobs, the manly jobs done. You need one of those. Plus, they're fun to drive too. All right, type number three is your fun cars. Every guy needs a fun car, a coupe, two door, fast car. That way, you can whip around. You have a nice date, take the lady out. You look nice, and it's fun. You drive that thing on the weekends. Not your average typical commuter car. If you want to drive to the office, like on Fridays or whatever, cool, you can. But it's going to be obviously a lot more pricey. You're going to have to buy premium gas, and that baby's going to get serviced a lot of maintenance. But you're going to have fun along the way. So those are the three types of cars. And obviously, this is ideal. Like, this is like your good financial position. You're balling out, you're chilling. You have your real estate game on point. You have a ton of rental properties, or you have your businesses on point, your cash flow on a ton, and maybe you're high up in your career, you're an executive for a company, you're good financially. These are extra money that you could blow on whatever and it won't affect your situation whatsoever. So, those are the three types of cars. Now, let me know in the comment section. You agree, disagree? Other cars are left out that you're like, man, Mike, why didn't you talk about that car? Let me know. All right. And as for everything, trying to help you guys get stronger, smarter, healthier, wealthier. So go ahead, follow for more lives, follow for more tips. Stay classy, stay pumped. Been rehabbing from my shoulder. So, long story short, one day I don't know what I did. Long story short, I woke up one day right before I moved from Utah, right before I packed all my stuff up. So I had this injury while I was packing stuff up. I just woke up. I couldn't lift my arm more than like 9 degrees. I got here and I couldn't lift it anymore. Before like pain. It was like the top of my shoulder. So I have no idea what it was. Still don't know what it is. It's getting a lot better. So I'm obviously loading up the bar a little bit more than previously, but I'm taking it slow, focusing on my form, and that actually might be a future live. Definitely a future men's value tip is definitely it's not ideal. You don't want to necessarily wait till you have injuries to start working on your form, start paying attention more to your form, but you should be doing that regardless on your deload weeks. But injuries can be seen from a positive perspective just because you're not going to be able to load up the bar as much as you used to, and you're going to focus a lot more on your form. And that can actually help you not only get better form, you can help you lift weights in the long term, but it'll also help prevent injuries in the future as well. For example, my deadlift. I was doing deadlift super fast. I kind of had a pop in my back. Still don't know what happened to this day. And I was out like it hurt bad for a day, like half a day, and then got better, but still was tender and stuff. I didn't do any lower back exercises that stressed it or put pressure on it for I don't know, probably like close to a month and a half, and then started like loading the bar a little bit. I'm still not going super heavy. Like most I went was like what 275, and I'm probably not going to go to 315 unless it's like for 1 or 2 reps. Oh, my guy Wanchai. Sorry, I didn't see your comment. Legacy Sport. So I think the Legacy Sports are pretty sick. So that's a different package that you can put on it. Funny, I was at my institute building over in downtown Austin, right next to UT campus, and there was a guy who had a Legacy Sport. Didn't find out whose it was, but that's like two packages. I think more than mine. It goes like basic trim or trimmer package or whatever you call it. So basic, premium, limited, sport, and then touring, I believe, touring XT. So I think the sport's sick. I believe it has a turbo. I want to say, yeah, it has a turbocharged engine in it. I can't remember the exact engine. I want to say it's like a 2.0 liter V. I don't. It's definitely not a V8. I'm pretty sure it's a V6. I could be wrong. Legacy Sport. Here we go. Let me share my screen quick. Yeah, so I got the premium. Eventually came out too with all the upgrades and stuff that I got. It was like 30 or just like barely over 30K. So limited, it bumps up each package around like 3K, 3.5K, 3K. So to get the sport, I was already paying base 35, and then with the additional upgrades that I got with my premium, that's easily probably going to be close to 40K, and then add on taxes on top of that. Like, yeah, I don't like I said for a commuter car. What kind of my financial position? I think 30 around 30K before taxes and stuff is solid. I think that's fair. That's like good decent price range, especially car prices right now. 40K, and honestly at that point I'm like, well, I was looking at the WRXs too. I'm like at that point, you probably get a nice WRX for 40K or upgrade a little bit, pay like 44K or something for like a way nicer WRX. So if you're looking for more performance, I'd probably go with the WRX instead of get the Legacy Sport. But that's just my personal opinion. Sorry, I was gonna look at the engine. Okay, they all have 2.5 liter four-cylinder boxers. The Sport does have a turbocharged engine in it, but I think that's about it when it comes to performance wise. It just has a turbocharged engine, and the premium look like 35 miles per gallon. Oh, I guess it's not that much. 35 compared to 31 miles per gallon. Sorry, you're probably getting sick. Highway and then 27 city. So that's just my thoughts on it. So I don't think it was worth the extra close to 10K probably to get the same exact features. Well, granted, a lot of it might have come with it, but all right, let's just say like 6 or 7K more than yeah. Because if I want, this is gonna be my commuter car. If I wanted more of a sports car, I'm gonna get more of a sports car, and I definitely will in the future. So, but it's a good mention. Good mention. But like I said, I think in over a legacy sport, granted legacy, I think you get a little bit more room, like size wise with the car, but I'd probably get a WRX at that point for that price point. Sorry, I don't even know what I was talking about. I got caught up in that thing, but yeah, my deadlift. So my deadlift, started working my form a lot more and really focusing on tightening the core. I've been working on bracing exercises so I can engage more of my core instead of the pressure going to my core instead of my lower back, which is where I hurt myself. So it is injuries. They suck and they're bad, but it can you can see in a positive light where you can focus more on your form. Like I said, help you lift more weight, become more efficient in the lift, and then it'll also help prevent future injuries. So that's my 2 cents on that. All right, I'm gonna head out. Friday night. I think my roommate texted me something. Oh, any particular as he's going to Costco. But I'll catch you later. As far as the next live, I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to come up with more topics this weekend. If you have a topic that you want me to hit on or for me to research or whatever you've been curious about, let me know in the description. Shoot me a DM. You know what to do. All right. Peace. I'll catch y'all later.